Alright, before I get this commentary even started, I know I'm probably going to insult some other YouTubers and be critical of them and criticize them, as well as maybe some of the subscribers I even have, or people who follow those YouTubers. And at the same time, I would want to say, well, I don't mean it personally, or I don't mean to disrespect. No, I don't mean it personally, but obviously if I'm criticizing you negatively, you can't criticize someone negatively and not have at least a hint of disrespect in it. So I'm not going to say, oh, I don't mean any disrespect to you, because no, that's just the way it is. I don't really pull punches, and I don't necessarily try to appease everybody. I do try to get along with everybody I can and be nice. And after this commentary, I am going to record another commentary about staying positive about YouTube and YouTube commentators and the things that even the biggest to the smallest channels, what they do right. So it's kind of probably going to be a two-part series about how to be a good personality on YouTube, because quite frankly, that's really lacking. And I'm going to draw from my experience of being a professional wrestler. And actually, if you're a professional wrestler, I know there's a couple other channels where someone was a professional wrestler, and another guy I know, they were former professional wrestlers. They know that YouTube and professional wrestling are so parallel, especially YouTube gaming, are so parallel in just about every facet. You could just insert the word YouTube instead of professional wrestling or the business, because that's just the way YouTube is. So if I offend you, feel free to unsubscribe. Doesn't bother me, it truly honestly doesn't. And hopefully you enjoy the video, so I'll get it underway. Hello everybody, welcome to the video. This is a Homefront gameplay. In this gameplay, I do really good, considering it is a ground control game. Ground control is very much like domination is in Modern Warfare 3 or any other Call of Duty. You have to hold 3 capture points, but I really like how this game truly rewards you for playing the objective, and at the same time, it's just cool how they have the thing set up. There's no flags in your face. That's the one thing I can't stand about Call of Duty. Every time you're capturing a flag and you're on the lookout and you're trying to look for people, you can't stand on the flag and try and capture it, because the stupid fucking flag is in your face. You either have to be prone or kneeling down, and it's kind of harder to get up and run away when someone may be throwing a nade on the grenade and you have to get off the flag unless you want to die. Well, anyways, this is about how to have a successful YouTube channel. Now, I know what you're thinking. Ben, your YouTube channel isn't very successful. In fact, it's not successful in any way, shape, or form. Yeah, I know that, and it'll never be successful. Now, I could say, well, it's because I don't try to be successful. It's kind of like when you call somebody a tryhard. It's like when they kick your ass. Well, I wasn't even trying. You're a tryhard. No, it's I'm a better player than you, or at least have a better connection than you, or either way, I did better than you. Okay, chances are you were using a good weapon with good perks too, okay? So yeah, don't fucking come to me and say, oh yeah, I wasn't even trying. Yeah, well, here's the thing. I'm not trying to make my channel big. My channel will never be big. I don't care. But I do have experience in this sort of thing, and I know how to achieve success because I have achieved it in other mediums and other artistic art forms and entertainment, whatever you want to call it, in other parts of the world and other parts of life. Because at the end of the day, YouTube is two things. It's either entertainment or education. When Call of Duty was first on YouTube, it really was sort of kind of going into education. How to get this, how to do well, how to blah blah blah, parts of the maps, tips and tricks. And now it's how to get nukes and how to get Moabs and how to have good games, because all these little fucking 12-year-old kids are new to the game and they're like, I suck at this game, how am I gonna do good? Please, somebody tell me. And then they go and look it up on YouTube, and usually they learn how to camp from big YouTubers. So people like Wings of Redemption kind of have truly ruined the game of Call of Duty. Now, Wings of Redemption is a great example. Yes, I know you're gonna blast Wings of Redemption, Ben. Yeah, sorta, kinda. But at the same time, I still thank him for the shout out before, because it got me a whole bunch of, you know, little kids to sub to me that are inactive anyways. So, anyways, people complain. I see channels complain all the time. People like Wings of Redemption complain. People like Pacific Toon complain. In fact, I think Thunder complains once in a while, and he's a good example. Even though I don't think he truly cares about his YouTube channel, I don't know if he wants it to be the biggest channel it could possibly be, but at the same time, once in a while, every now and then, people complain about their channel. And that's rightfully so to do, because you do see other channels, much bigger channels, much more successful channels, and you think, oh my god, I do this so much better. Either my gameplay's better, or my commentary's better, or my editing's better, everything is better, you know. You get jealous in a sense because you're like, they're bigger, I'm not. First of all, key to success, stop worrying about the people around you. If you focus too much about the people around you, your quote-unquote competition, your product suffers, okay? I learned that from a little thing called professional wrestling. Yes, I was a professional wrestler for a decade. So I know a little thing about entertainment and how to quote-unquote get over and get people to like you and be successful, whether it be in popularity or at least in financial status, okay? So, back in the day, WCW used to be a wrestling company, and they tried taking WWF, WWE at the time, whatever, vice versa, out of competition. All they did was focus on them. They didn't focus on their own product. Their wrestling product eventually sucked balls. Their storyline sucked. Their wrestling product sucked. The fans were not entertained when they were watching it anymore. They were being entertained by WWE. So they started watching WWE, and people switched and stayed to WWE. And then when WCW went out of business because of the AOL merger, the Time Warner AOL merger, yeah, they weren't going to keep WCW on because, let's face it, it was a losing enterprise because the product stunk, and the last year of its life was very much evidence of that. People were really starting to turn to WWE because it was a better product. So, if you're complaining and you're bitching and you're moaning about, oh, this guy's more successful than me, Woody's more successful because all he does is talk about sex to kids, and White Boy's more successful because he does giveaways and he appeases the children, blah blah blah. Well, for starters, that's the way to be successful in Call of Duty YouTube gaming, because let's face it, the majority of people who play Call of Duty and watch it on YouTube are children. That's just the way it is. The bigger your channel gets, you're gonna have to tap into the children. That's just how it goes. So you have to do something to appease children. White Boy 7th Street very much is a person that appeases the children. He could have his own Nickelodeon show. That's the type of channel he runs, because he's a grown-up and he's saying grown-up words and doing grown-up things, but he's doing it as if he was a child, kind of like that Fred guy, you know, like, hey, it's Fred! Hello, how do you think he got successful on YouTube? Same in wrestling. The most successful wrestlers of all time are people who appeased to children. Hulk Hogan, John Cena. Now you could say Stone Cold Steve Austin, but at the same time, Stone Cold Steve Austin did also appease the children too. I mean, he appeased to adults and he also appeased to children. He was really crossing both borders of who to appease to, and that's why he's the most financially successful wrestler of all time, and he was only like in the spotlight for 6 years. So in wrestling, if you are a professional wrestler, you need people to like you. Especially nowadays that no one cares what your gimmick is. They want to know the actual person, okay? They want to like you. So if you're running a YouTube channel, it doesn't matter what fucking gameplay you have. It doesn't matter what sound overs or sound effects or editing and all that shit you have, or how well spoken you are on commentary. It's your personality that is going to decide whether people like you or not. So, that being said, if you're an asshole, a dick to your subs and whatnot, you're not going to get that successful as someone who is nice to their subs. White Boy 7th Street, yeah, he does giveaways. Well, guess what? That's a nice thing to do for people. A lot of people do giveaways, okay? And I don't know if he's done them recently. I heard he had started them up again. I don't care. But that's something nice he's giving to his subscribers. He's being interactive with his subscribers. He plays with his subscribers. He compliments them. He's very grateful to them. He's a nice guy. They want to like him because of his personality and the fact that he treats them well back. At least gives them a chance. People like Wings of Redemption, yes, he's famous for camping, and his commentary, a lot of it I do like. I'm not sub to him, but once in a while I'll come across his channel and I like it. And, you know, he runs a good ship. But what made me unsubscribe from him and not want anything to do with him anymore was watching his streams, and he was screaming at his subs and kicking all of his parties out and blaming them for losing and calling people names, and he was treating them like total fucking shit. And people didn't want to like him anymore. When you're an asshole, people don't want to like you. They don't want to watch you. They don't want to be associated with you. People like Pacific Tomb. Yeah, I know he's an only child and he has that little bratty attitude. Well, eventually it's like, well, you know what? This guy's a fucking dick. you know. And then at the same time, every time he says something dickish, Pacific Doom's like, oh, don't take me seriously. You really take me seriously? I was just joking. It's like, well, how the fuck are people supposed to tell when you're actually being serious and when you're not? Because sometimes when you're being a dick, you truly mean it. Okay, if people can't decipher that and they can't understand you, they can't make an emotional investment in you. If they don't want to be sub to your channel, they don't want anything to do with you. Same with Thunder. I mean, Thunder has a very successful channel, but he's still considered very small. And like I said, I don't know if he really cares about growing his channel here and there. I don't know. But he probably won't get much bigger because Thunder does have episodes of crazy rage because he does put his emotions on his sleeve. I unsubbed from Thunder when Modern Warfare 3 came out because I got sick and tired of him bitching, complaining, being a fucking dick asshole, just screaming up the high heaven, and that was fine. And then eventually I resubbed to him. When Black Ops 2 comes out, I'll most likely unsub from him, and then when he calms down, I will resub to him again. That's just how it works. So yeah, if you want to be successful, content matters, entertainment matters, and it's how people personally relate to you as a person. How do people relate to White Boy 7th Street? You know, ever look in his comment section? So many people call him Alex. They don't fucking know him, but they're calling him by his first name because it's a personal, emotional investment. So if you want to have a good channel and you want to be successful and you have everything it takes, but it's just not working, you even have exposure and you have a good network, but you're just not growing, what you need to do is your personality really needs to be something that people want to be drawn to you. If you say, fuck you, I don't care what anybody thinks, then don't make a fucking video bitching about, oh, I'm not as big as this guy, and I don't have as many subs as this guy, and I should because I'm a better player, I have better this, alright? That's just the way it works, okay? Those are the rules, that's the game, play it. Probably the best example I can give you is actually a Gene Simmons quotation. It's not really a quote, it's just a little anecdote. He says, if there's two vacuum cleaner salesmen and they go door to door and they're trying to sell their vacuum cleaners, they have both the exact same vacuum cleaner, they both wear the same suit, drive the same car, look the same. Why is one person going to sell more vacuums than the other? You know, it's basically saying, if I have good gameplay, I have commentary, I have this, I have that, why is one guy going to outdo me on YouTube as opposed to someone else? It's because they're not buying the vacuum cleaner, you're buying the vacuum cleaner salesman. Okay, and that's the first thing about selling, because really you're selling yourself on YouTube. It's not always for YouTube money, but when you're trying to get subs and you're trying to get views and whatnot, you're selling yourself. You're not selling your product and your content, it's you're selling yourself. They want to buy into you. I think the thing is, a lot of people in YouTube, especially a lot of commentators, have their own theory of what a successful channel should be, the way they want it to be, the way it should be, and usually it's always parallel with what their channel is. If you're mostly good gameplay and you put it to music, you're thinking, well, a channel should only be about the gameplay. If you have good commentary and lackluster gameplay, you know, then you're thinking, oh, a channel should only be about the commentary. It doesn't matter what the gameplay is. Well, the thing is it doesn't matter what you think a successful channel should be. There's obviously a formula and a certain science to what a successful channel is. So if you want to be successful, be what the channel is, not what you ought to think it should be.